Chico Unified School District. Now I only have one. My daughter, Grace Jennifer Doney, ended her life 19 days ago on Sunday, November 22nd. Please listen as I share with you a little bit about my girl. Gracie was a 15-year-old sophomore at Chico High. Before the beginning of COVID, last March, Grace was used to being a straight A student. If Grace got a B, it wasn't good enough for her because she felt that she could do better. Grace was involved in leadership classes at Chico Junior and went on to be an honors English at Chico High. She loves school. Last March, when school moved to online learning, Grace began to struggle. She expressed that she missed her teachers, her classrooms, her friends, picking out her outfits for school. But she did her best and pressed forward to finish out the school year receiving grades that were not up to her normal standards. In August was the start of another school year online. Grace was accepting of the circumstances, but very sad. She set out to do her best right from the very start of the school year. I watched Gracie up until 2 a.m., many nights before the first set of progress reports came out. She said that ingenuity took so much time to get through, and she was desperately always trying to catch up and complete more assignments. Grace told me that she felt it was impossible to learn chemistry and math without a classroom and teacher to learn with. One night, Grace expressed to me that she knew she wasn't going to succeed in her chemistry class and asked me if I could help her to switch to another class. I called the school the next day. Grace's school counselor was very kind. She told me that the majority of the students were struggling with the ingenuity and that the counseling office was swamped. She looked into switching Grace's chemistry class and was sorry to report that we missed the deadline to switch classes by a few days. When schools opened up for partial in-school learning, Grace felt relieved, but she was sad that she was placed in the AM schedule and her best friends all had the PM schedule. She still kept trying her best. During the last stretch of school, Grace longed to attend each of her classes for full in-person school days. She talked often of her English class. She shared that being in that classroom brought her so much peace and joy, and she wished that she could be in that classroom every day. Grace told me that she thought that if she could move to the PM schedule, that she would feel less lonely because she'd be in the presence of her close friends. I called Chico High on October 26th to see if we could make that change happen for her. I received an email on October 28th that there was a list of 25 other kids that also needed the PM schedule, and that perhaps that change could be made for Grace in January. Shortly after being denied changing her school schedule, on November 16th, we moved to the purple tier. Grace was extremely sad at the thought of the possibility of returning to complete online learning. On Friday, November 20th, I took my children to Cafe Mondo's for our weekly tradition. Sitting in the car drinking her chai latte before school, Grace said, "Mom, I'm feeling sad and frustrated because I have a D- in math. I'm turning in and getting full credit for all of my in-class assignments, but I'm behind in ingenuity because it's too hard for me and it's bringing my grade all the way down to a D-." I assured Grace that as long as she was trying her best, that it was okay, and suggested that she talk to her teacher. Her teacher recommended that she plug away at completing and submitting the missing ingenuity assignments over Thanksgiving break. On that Friday evening, Grace went to her dad's house. On Saturday afternoon, she called me because she had forgotten her Chromebook charger and needed it to get caught up over the break. On Sunday afternoon, my beautiful, smart, loving daughter was gone. The point of this letter is not to place any blame for my daughter's suicide. When rereading recent letters that Grace wrote to me, she wrote things like, "Mom, I'm so glad you always have my back. I feel I must speak out. I feel that our children are being let down by the school system. Some children are getting by okay with the online learning, but some children need to go to school. I took the steps as a parent to try to help my girl just to be told that she missed a deadline by a few days to switch classes and was just another number of kids needing the PM schedule. We need to listen to these children. We need to be able to bend the rules." On another note, I have my 8th grader telling me that the only thing that feels normal in his life right now with the loss of his sister are his hours spent at school. He wishes that he could return to regular, full in-person school days. He wishes that he could be a part of a sports team or had a practice to go to. I want to ask you, if the high school counseling office is so bombarded with struggling students, then why was there a closed sign placed on their door to the students? Why aren't there more counselors? Why aren't we listening to our students? Why are we still using ingenuity when it's causing struggle for so many? Why can't we do better to take care of the mental health of these children? When determining on how to proceed with the next school semester, I ask all of you to really think about the mental health of our children. Many children need to go to regular school. They need face-to-face instruction from their teachers, and they need to be around their peers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shealy, for sharing about Grace. Okay, Superintendent Staley, this is my first run-through of sharing this